Welcome to Challenge, a special programme tonight as we look back over the last 3 years, some of our better moments and most of our worst. You may remember this place, it's Monkey World in Dorset, and it was actually the scene of one of our greatest disasters. And boy, have we had some disasters. Should we go now? Beep. Oh, no. At least we can perhaps catch people as they're having breakfast or whatever. Okay! Oh. We've actually got to film this appeal, and David's got to be exactly 30 seconds long. You're in charge of time.
I'll get my stopwatch ready. Thank you.
Now, if at home you've got any shots, any prints of your children playing... What's that?
That was a few seconds to go, Annie. I was going to do that just so you know time's running out. Well, it's 33 seconds now anyway. Do you want your light on, Martin?
Please.
Can we try and make this look a bit more professional?
Take 5.
Don't forget, please help. Colour photos, children at play. Go and do it now! What's happened? 37. Why didn't you tell me?
I did one of them, Annie. Did you see me?
Yeah, I saw that, but then you didn't.
Well, you're going so well, I just didn't have the heart to stop you.
So we're talking about scaffolding for today.
Yeah.
And tonight, probably.
Okay.
And throughout, so that obviously the painters can, you know, leap up and down your erection.
Yes, Anneka, yeah.
Sorry. I really tried hard to think of another word.
Oh no.
The smell.
Oh,
Right,
did you land in one?
Absolutely.
Oh no. Oh dear.
Stop doing your bloody programme. Well, some of the events which didn't make the screen, and we'll have more of them later, but some of our funniest moments have been with animals. And you know what they say about working with animals? Don't. The roof is now finished. We're waiting for the steel doors to arrive today. They're putting in the wire mesh. Hey! This bloody dog's eating my arm. Not looking very promising. One of the animals which completely stole the show was an abandoned mongrel pup called Dandelion, whom we found tied to a telegraph pole. Oh, look! It's a dog. Hello. Oh, hello, little chap. Or are you a little girl? I'm not very good on genders. Oh, it's lovely. What does this say? You haven't been able to get a girl to sit on your lap for about 5 years, Dave. The challenge was to completely renovate Dandelion's home, a shelter for abandoned animals in Northern Ireland, which was in a terrible state of disrepair. Here we go. Welcome USPCA.
As you can see, it's all patchwork jobs.
Yes.
The problem is that this wiring gets very loose. The dogs will escape. The floor, everything is really badly run down. It hasn't been maintained.
I'll tell you what, I'm glad it wasn't that dog that was tied up to the lamppost.
The roof is leaking very badly, and we need to have the roof replaced, the kennel facings replaced, and you'll see, I'll take you in and show you the doors replaced.
One of the first jobs was to move all the dogs out to temporary shelters before the building work could start. Come on.
We'll always put a wee box and let you take it home with you, there's no problem.
Oh.
It is a lovely wee pup and hopefully we will get it home over the next couple of days.
Oh, it's tiny.
It's so tiny and unfortunately a lot of them are like that.
But are the puppies aware that they've been taken away from their mothers or not at this age?
Well, I'm sure if they've been weaned properly, it isn't a problem. It boils down to the fact that unfortunately there are too many puppies. And I would love to find everyone in here a home, but I'm sad to say it'll not all happen.
Do you get furious though?
We get very angry. We have to count 10 sometimes when we're talking to the public, because they walk into the office and they sign a form knowing the animal is maybe going to have to be put to sleep, and they don't care. I'm with the USPCA 20 years. I've seen the kennel slowly deteriorating over the years. We haven't had the finance to do anything about it. And to me, it's a dream, and I'll only believe it in Saturday when I see it all finished. Tears delight me.
I hope we get there. Are you ready for this? We have a special license to allow this cameraman out, so I better leave you with that and we'll carry on with our gentle tour. How are you doing?
Struggling.
Oh, David, watch your back.
Don't worry. It's on YouTube.
Yes, I felt it a wet badge on my bottom. The other part of the challenge was to find a home for Dandelion. Otherwise, like most of the dogs there, she would have had to have been put down within 6 days. Completely by chance, we met Daphne Hannah, whose son Edward had recently lost his dog. Do you think you might be able to take her on?
Yeah, no problem.
You're wonderful. Thank you so much. What do you think you might call her? I'll have to think about it.
Just keep her the name she is because I like the name.
Do you like Dandelion? Oh, Edward, that's the nicest thing. Do you know, they've been so rude to me about this name. Good morning. Well, it's a bit of a sad start to the day because we're actually going to have to take Dandelion to the vet. When she was brought into the centre, when she was found, she had a bit of a cough. It got a lot worse last night. I just hope it's not serious.
She doesn't look at all sick. She's eating.
She's eating
and
yeah,
it's not been sick.
No,
and no diarrhea, anything like that.
No.
Okay, what I'll do is I just want to have a listen to her chest. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it, you know. Poor Dandelion. Well, we finished the challenge and a year on, the centre is going from strength to strength, as is Dandelion. Hello. She looks wonderful. It was so brilliant of you to give her a home. How's she doing?
She's doing fine. As you can see, she's grown quite big.
A handful.
She's terribly naughty, yes.
That's a very polite way of saying she's real trouble, is it?
Yeah.
What did all your friends think, Edward?
They all thought she was beautiful. They all came over and seen her the day I brought her down to school.
Really? So she had a public appearance at school, did she?
Yes.
Very famous dog. Well, if you think animals behave strangely on camera, you should see some of the humans we've met. What do you say? Hear ye, and all that sort of stuff. We've asked members of the public to do some very strange things over the years. Now look, you lot, would you like to be in a pantomime?
No,
Like the time we descended on the people of Newcastle to ask them to take part in a Christmas panto. We had to find people who'd never been on stage before.
No?
No, seriously, we've got to put on pantomime tomorrow of Cinderella, and I'm looking for someone to play Cinderella. Wouldn't you like? Can you act at all?
No.
Well, no, we're looking for people who can't act. It's got to be an amateur production. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if any of you are budding actors, but we're trying to put on a pantomime by tomorrow of Cinderella, and we're looking for some ugly sisters. If you could play Sharon in a minute, and you can play Tracy. And this is Cinderella, who's deprived, and you're being beaten up by these two horrendous sisters of him. I think you probably came from different parents, but we'll brush over that. Okay. So if you start, Sharon, cue action.
I wonder who gave her the wig.
It's probably tried a bald head.
It's my own hair.
It's my own hair. She sounds like Kylie Minogue.
I think I'll slip into something long and flowing. Try the time.
You desperately want to go to the ball with Prince Charming. That's me, by the way. And
I'm not going to get the ball. I'm not going to see the prince. I won't have a dress or any anything.
No, I can't tap you.
You're the fairy godmother.
For tonight, you will be the princess.
Oversee the stroke of 12, and your coat will be a pumpkin again.
And your ball gown, the same rags in which I found you. Go now, Cinderella. But remember, the stroke of midnight.
You're so pretty. We need a Cinderella. Let's go. Come away from No, seriously. We're staging a production. Where have you gone? She's so pretty. We're staging a production of Cinderella. Is that your laugh or are you crying? You laugh. You sound like a donkey when you laugh.
Well, what should we look for first, Anneka? Cinderella's?
From that one trip to the shopping centre, more than 100 people volunteered. They arrived early Sunday morning for auditions and rehearsals, and by that evening, just a few hours later, they had to perform in front of an audience of 1,000. It's your laugh I loved. It sounded like a donkey, didn't it? I remember that.
Would you like to audition for the Uglies? You be Sharon. I'm Tracy. Oh, you're Tracy. Sharon.
Oh, look. She's wearing makeup.
I wonder who gave her a wig.
It's probably I had a baldy head.
It's my own hair.
And I was the only girl.
Business like no business I know. Everything about it is appealing. Everything the traffic will allow. Nowhere could you get that happy feeling when you were feeling that extra fun.
I think they suit you.
Very high up.
Oh, so that's very nice. You've
Well, it's not
protected
sagging.
yourselves. Yeah, that's right. They're very. People will be very proud of those. Dave, you can't. You can't. You look at your watches. If your costumes have allowed you to wear them, it is 3 minutes past 7. And we are about to present a brilliant pantomime to 1,000 people out there. Good luck.
Break a leg.
Good luck.
Lots of eyes and teeth and smile. Go for it. You're all great.
Makeup.
We never use makeup.
What do you use then, polyfiller? Shut up.
I wonder who gave her the wig.
It's probably to hide her bald head.
It's my own hair.
It's my own hair. She sounds like Kylie Minogue. Yuck!
I should be so lucky, 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 lucky.
That was such a brilliant evening, and music is an important part of many challenges. I think in almost every programme a band will turn up out of the blue, often to spectacular effect. Oh, the band! All right. King's Pleasure in the custard cream, Joy.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Listen, I don't want anyone in there to know you're here. Can you unpack your things sort of round the front of your van? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
When that Mama Brown was taking the air, like everybody with the greatest respect. But in the hand now something scared when I hollered, who there? This is why.
music which actually caused us the biggest problem when we had to make a commercial for the British Paralympic Association in just 2.5 days. The music was just one part of it. A team of disabled athletes were filming in freezing conditions at Crystal Palace. And we had just one day to actually film the commercial. It had to be transmitted the following evening on ITV.
Here we go. MB cameras, turn over. Go out. Yes! Turn over cameras, cameras running. 1, 2, 3, go!
Sorry. No, I haven't come for an audition. Do you mind? I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry about this. We are after some singers for something we're doing tomorrow afternoon at about 2:30. And we wondered if we could appeal to anybody who thinks they've got any free time. We're making a television commercial, and it's turning out to be a great film. But we've had real problems with the music, and we have no... we've actually, as it stands at this moment, we actually have no music. We've got the composer Howard Blake writing this very moment some choral music. So could we perhaps have a raise of hands of people who think they might be free? Oh, oh!
Thank you.
Yes. What can we say? It just sounded perfect. Bye, thanks a lot. Don't forget to watch. We will 11:15. This is not funny. Oh God. No, this is a joke.
Looks a lot of petrol. A lot of petrol in there.
This is not. Is this a joke?
I don't know.
Is this a hysterical Happy Valentine's April the 1st?
How long have we got?
We can't go. We'll have to get it. I mean, it won't go, will it?
Yeah, have a look at the back.
Have you got any money on you? I mean, this is not a joke, is it? Hi. Could you take us up to Thames Television at Euston in about 2 seconds? 15 minutes. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. Hi! VT, where do we take this, the tape? Right. Through here?
Lovely. Disinflate. Thank you.
Stand by 83, please.
We've got time to get this one out, I take it.
Standing by.
After the break, the man who put the...
Q3.
How are we doing? Has it happened yet?
3 years ago in Seoul, Great Britain broke 18 world records and brought home 182 medals. Next year in Barcelona, we're going to prove once again that our disabilities don't get in the way of our abilities.
You can't even see the advert, and I was tingling.
That's the first time I've actually seen something that hasn't patronised us. I'm choked up, mate. I really am. It's brilliant.
Well, as you probably know, Britain's Paralympic athletes are in Barcelona competing at the moment, and the news is they're doing brilliantly. Well, the theme of the advertisement was "Don't let our disabilities get in the way of our abilities." And that was certainly the case when we took a group of disabled people skiing in the Alps. None of them had skied before, and they had just 2 days to learn. Well, learning to ski is a daunting enough prospect if you're able-bodied, let alone if you're blind or unable to walk. Look at that. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, very keen to get going this morning. The sun's come out. It's beautiful.
Push to the right again, push to the right. Brilliant, stand up a bit, push to the right. Great, let him run, out with the heels, out with the heels, out with the heels. Great stuff, got you. I want you to turn, so watch the right rudder. You're running fast. Okay, good.
That's really good, really good. Does that feel better?
Somewhat, yeah.
Somewhat, right, excellent. It really is good. Oh, next time we go up, we're going to try and turn rather than come straight down.
Turn, you're all right. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. You're all right. Forget me. I am going to forget you.
God, you're mad!
Fucking.
God, he's gone!
Go. Oh, God.
Mark!
Christ.
God, all right.
Yeah. Oh, God almighty. Oh.
Get him off?
Yeah, I'm all right.
What you took?
Have I got a cut? Where?
Oh, you've just grazed your nose a bit.
Oh, that's all right then. That's it. Come on, right into me. Come on. That's it. Come on, right. Faster.
I'll be your inspiration. Yeah, I'll rise to the occasion.
go straight. Let's go straight. Choose.
It was quite extraordinary what that team achieved in just 2 days. When I learned to ski, it took me weeks, and I'm still terrified, and I'm still pretty useless as well. They were absolutely brilliant. Now, unfortunately, to something rather less successful. You may know, well, you may in fact have gathered from that extract where I nearly missed getting the tape to ITV, I'm not exactly fond of this, our buggy, and it's really not hard to see why. Paul? I was just going to say, let's leap into that buggy and whiz off into the sunset to get the concrete. What's happened? Not again.
The throttle cable's broken. It's come away from the back of the...
It's a very sick buggy today, isn't it?
Only today.
It is not healthy. Look, I haven't got my foot on the thing, and did you notice that?
I did, yeah.
Look, it's going again. Look, I can't stop it. Don't Eve, this is not funny. But it's done it again. What's wrong with it? It keeps cutting out. And seriously, will you watch my foot? Because I know you think I'm winding up. This is what it did before. Oh, I don't believe it. Hide behind the hedge. Look, I haven't got my foot on the Brett thing. I can't stop it. Hi, listen, I wonder if you could help me. Do you want to get in the front?
No, you get in the front.
I'll get in the front. Brilliant. You are kind. Thank you. Well, that's it, I'm afraid. I finally put my foot down. This is the last time you'll see the buggy ever. And you'll have to tune in next week to see what we're going to replace it with. Mind you, it's not just the buggy that plays up on challenge. We need 6mm PLY. I don't know, what's PLY?
Plywood.
Plywood, sorry. That's 8 feet by 4 feet sheets.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
Yep.
I've been given a list, so I'm not exactly au fait with some of these technical terms. Nails.
Nails. Hello? Hello?
Sorry.
Little more PLY.
Sorry, I'm not familiar with these technical terms. What's next? Oh, nails. That's terrible. I'm so sorry.
Come on, we're good.
No, fine, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine now.
Good morning,
Mark?
Texas. Can I help you?
Mark? Is that Mark?
It's Chris.
Chris, is Mark there? Oh.
Good morning, Texas. Can I help you?
Oh, hi, it's Anneka again. We've had
Hello there.
very
Had a bit of
bad problems
trouble.
with our mobile phones because we're sitting in a church. I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay.
Should we get back to our list? We were
Right.
on nails, weren't we? Sorry, just snoozed.
Okay.
Look, Mark, Chris, whatever your name is, I'm so sorry. And by the way, thanks for the PLY. Well, that phone call took place in the church we had to refurbish in time for Nicola and Simon Clayton's wedding. Normally weddings take weeks to arrange, and this took 2 days. And Nicola and Simon didn't even know they were getting married. Come on. Nicola? Are you Nicola? Are you Nicola?
This is Nicola.
Yeah. It's happening. Oh, she's gone. She's gone completely. Hiya. Hello. 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 Simon. Hi. Oh, he's very nice, Nicola. It's happened. The challenge has started.
And now, the sloppy bit. Just a few minutes ago, I got a
frantic phone call from Anneka Rice, who's in the middle of a Challenge Anneka programme. And we've got her on the phone now. Hi, Annie.
Gary, this is a very sloppy one for you today. Thank you so much for letting me hijack your programme like this.
It's a pleasure. What's going on?
Well, 2 days ago we got a challenge to transform a church in Mitcham. We've been completely repainting it and transforming it, working through the day and night.
That's not my carriage, is it?
A young couple from the parish are getting married.
I wondered if you could possibly play her favourite record and her husband-to-be's, because they've had a pretty whirlwind 2 days, thanks to us.
You've got an hour and 17 minutes to go.
17 minutes, and we just want to wish them both
all the luck and love, because they've just been fantastic. Really great. Simon Clayton and Nicola Clark.
Okay, and their records?
Their record, Unchained Melody, The Righteous Brothers.
And we'll play that one first.
Hi. Are you doing the makeup? Oh, dear. Get in.
So slowly, and time.
Oh, very nice.
Can do so much.
I couldn't find my foot.
Okay.
Use your camera as a mirror.
Oh, this is fantastic, this car is beautiful.
I'm going to be really late, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
Before we begin, I've just got to say something, because really this is fantastic, isn't it? It's quite awe-inspiring. There was a lady came to this church last Sunday at our flower festival, and she thought the flowers were wonderful, but she said, oh dear, she said, this building is so shabby, it needs a miracle. And then she came in here today, and she was almost crying because the miracle had happened. Incredible. And we are so grateful. I think people are tired here, but very, very happy. I do hope all of you are very proud of yourselves, because my goodness me, I'm very proud of you.
I, Simon James,
take you, Nicola Jean,
take you, Nicola Jean,
to be my wife,
to be my wife,
to have and to hold,
from
this day forward,
for
better, for worse,
For richer, for poorer.
in sickness and in health,
In sickness and in health.
to love and to cherish,
To love and to cherish.
till death us do part.
Till death us do part.
And this is my solemn vow. By your blessing, let these rings be to Simon and Nicola a symbol of unending love and faithfulness, to remind them of the vow and covenant. All that I am, I give to you.
all that I am, I give to you.
Share with you.
All that I have, I share with
God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, bless, preserve, and keep you. Simon and Nicola have declared their marriage by the joining of hands and by the giving and receiving of rings. I therefore proclaim that they are husband and wife.
Well, we saw Nicola and Simon a few weeks ago, and I'm happy to say they're still married, they're still happy, and the church is still looking wonderful. That wedding took place on a beautiful midsummer's day, which is more than can be said for most challenges. We've had everything: fog, rain, hail, gales, even a heat wave where we had to call out the fire brigade to save our new turf from burning up. Now, no funny business.
Don't we like rain?
I'm not sure how far we're going to get in this, lads. I think no one's ever going to see us again.
Now a look at the weather forecast for the West Midlands. The wet and windy weather will continue into the afternoon. Some showers will be heavy.
How much time we got left about?
Well, yeah. A few minutes.
It's going to be touch and go. We're trying to make up the level here because rushing with the concrete yesterday, we've got too much difference between the tarmac and the original concrete. So we're trying to put some quick set in, which isn't quick setting very quickly because of the rain that's dropped on top of it.
Finished, but I don't think anyone will ever notice. Give yourself a cheer. Hello, Your Royal Highness. But it was in the Isles of Scilly where the weather finally got the better of us. We had to build a jetty for the tiny island of Briar. What we hadn't reckoned with was a force-8 gale.
It's now 11:30 at night, and as you can probably hear, the wind has really got up strong now. In fact, it's not a wind or a gust, it feels like a hurricane. We've nearly finished here. The main problem we've got now, we just had disastrous news from the Penzance because of this wind. Our container vessel with all our materials, the Free Marita, can't set sail when it was due to. It's been, hardly speak, it's been postponed to about 3 or 4 this morning. And that's going to have a really bad knock-on effect with all our other plans, because it won't now be able to meet up with the other vessel, which is going to be used to bring all the goods actually ashore. So I think really what I'm trying to tell you is that tomorrow is a bit of an unknown quantity. There is just the most amazing atmosphere now. Everyone's working so hard, and with all this goodwill around, well, I don't know, it makes you think maybe we are going to get this job done in time. Good morning, it's Friday morning. This was the day our project was due to be completed. As you can see, we're not going to make it. Everyone is totally shattered. Work went on until 4 o'clock this morning. It started again early today. What we've got to do now is go to St Mary's, in fact, round all the islands, and warn people not to come today at 2 o'clock for the grand finale, because it just isn't going to happen. You couldn't put one of these posters up in your... Could you put this up in your shop window?
Oh, we've hit a bit of a hiccup.
Yeah.
We wondered if you could put that near your loin chops. Well, remember the original challenge? At 2 o'clock on Friday, Mrs. Langdon will return to Bra for the first time in 3 years. Be on the low tide jetty to meet her. We didn't exactly manage that one, did we? But never mind. We will do it, Mrs. Langdon.
May your feet forever.
This is your jetty. Come and meet everybody from Bra who's turned out to see you. Come up and follow Mrs. Langdon down. There we go. Hang on to you. You can. We'll have a cuddle as we go down. Well done, Doris. Well, I've just come back from the Isles of Scilly and I'm happy to say the jetty has survived 2 winters of force-8 gales. It's still standing. And that was one challenge where we didn't make our deadline, but it was nothing compared to this place. Literally 3 weeks after we were supposed to have finished building 2 chimpanzee houses here in Monkey World in Dorset, the work still wasn't finished. In this challenge, just about everything went wrong. The story began in Barcelona, where 6 chimps, rescued from a life of misery and torture on the beaches of Spain, were about to be brought to England to live in 2 new chimpanzee houses. The trouble was, they hadn't been built yet.
The actual structure is made out of telegraph poles. There are 4 main poles in the centre of the building, which are crucial to us.
This is far more elaborate than I imagined. I mean, for 48 hours, you do know there's a deadline of Friday.
Yeah.
This is a serious bit of construction. So, Barcelona in Spain at the moment. How are the chimps doing over there?
Right. Well, what will be happening now is that John Lewis, the vet, they all have to be sedated. All right. You just can't say to baby chimp, get in the box. It doesn't work.
Right.
All right. So they have to be tranquilized so that they can go in the box. Not only that, it's relaxed for their journey. All right. It makes it a lot nicer for them. So he'll be doing all that about now.
The ideal is if somebody gives Chico some food in a corner where I can get access to his back. Yes. And I'll dart in between the shoulder blades. It takes about 5 minutes, Simon. And it's the best thing for him now is just to leave him quietly alone and let him gradually go under. Anneka, John Lewis. So far, so good, although we still have problems. Sorry? Well, we've still got some bureaucratic problems with the remaining 2 chimps. The 4 chimps that are coming with me on the aircraft, I'm quite happy-ish about. The remaining 2, I think they will go out on a later flight. Now, I've tried to arrange them to fly on a later flight. They should be into Heathrow, not Gatwick, but I can't be 100% about those.
Okay, so they'll have to travel in 2 batches.
That's right.
So basically there's no way you could get here for 5 o'clock, is there?
I think not.
Will you just keep in touch, and we'll send Paul off in the truck to Gatwick now to collect the first lot, and fingers crossed for the second.
See you on.
Bye-bye, John.
Bye.
So there's problems in Spain there, and there's certainly problems this end. A transformation overnight, as you can see, but even though these guys have worked literally non-stop right through the night, we're so behind time now, we can't actually think that we can never meet the 5 o'clock deadline. What we're going to try and do is make some sort of local appeal, because we desperately need more carpenters, and I mean seriously more carpenters. Oh my goodness, they've arrived. Thanks so much. So much for coming along. Did you hear about our other problem, carpenters?
Yes, we have. We've got
chippies.
2 carpenters here, Paul Hurstborough and Settler
Good
Jones.
to see you.
So we should be able to
That's
sort
the
it out
problem,
from
the roof there. And for the rest of the guys, it's the problem underneath the roof. So obviously our main concern at the moment is the well-being of the chimps. The Ministry of Agriculture stipulate that once those chimps are out of the trucks, they can't be held up in the sun anymore. They have to get straight into that quarantine bay. So can we go for a complete assurance from you that if they're on their way now, we can say perhaps by 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock, that'd be a good time.
So
it gives us a good 4 hours, and 4 hours on that building now, and all hands on the deck.
What we will do,
That's the thing
as Peter has said, we'll concentrate on the one building so that we can actually achieve that, and at least we can actually get the 4 chimps into that one building.
Chimps are arriving in about 5 minutes. And this was the first house, which we barely finished in time for the chimps' arrival. But as always on Challengers, we've been amazed by the generosity of all the workers and contractors who all gave up their spare time and worked over the next 3 months to finish this, the second one. So this is the end result, 2 up and running chimpanzee houses. Jim Cronin over here. Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
You run Monkey World.
Yes, I do.
Are you pleased?
Extremely happy, ecstatic.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The chimps are happy here.
The chimps are extremely happy. They're fit, they're well, they're doing better than we could have ever expected.
Really, it must have been so frustrating for you. I mean, it was bad enough for us to have all those lies in the tabloid press about how the centres were never finished. When you can see them, they're here, they're up and running.
They're pretty upset by that as well.
Yeah, we feel the same.
It was just total lies. The buildings were great, they were functioning, the chimps were in it. We couldn't ask for more, we wouldn't ask for more. We're extremely happy, and so are they.
I can see it! They look on tremendous form. It's great to see them. Well, over the years of Challenge, we've tackled everything from building bridges to railway lines, playgrounds to football pitches. But the most memorable trip for all of us was when we were challenged to renovate an orphanage in Romania that housed 600 children in the most appalling squalor imaginable. the smell that hits you first of all, isn't it? It's like stable. It's the only way to describe it.
This is mild compared to what it was in the summer.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Come on then.
This way? Yeah, let's go, let's go. Give her away to the children, okay? Hello.
You can see that the plumbers and the technicians have got an awful mammoth job ahead of them.
I cannot believe this is 1990. And these are the only loos they have in the whole building for 600 children. Two, veggio. It's not good smell, is it? Phew. It's just unbelievable.
The children are just crammed in.
Yes.
And these cots are very, very decrepit. Under the old regime, they were assessed at 3 and then sent to one of these places. We are told that the children here are actually from 4 to 22. Now, if you look at them, they look about the size of a 2-year-old.
Yes. After a nationwide appeal, a plane load of volunteers and a convoy of lorries with supplies travelled across Europe.
Mind your backs.
The stars in the bright sky. Da 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 da. I think I'd rather be electrocuted.
This is probably the best thing I'll probably ever do, you know, because this place needs a lot of help, you know. Needs a heck of a lot of help.
Trecoiați pe lașuși mea, măi, văzut tinereța mea, măi, văzut tinereța mea, în rochii să subțira, în rochii să subțira, nu stă unde te grăbea, măi, a căzut frunza de nun, măi, și mă întreabă cum o duc, măi, nu stă să mă întreabă așa, parcă n-aș ști, n-ați vedea. Parcă n-ați ști, n-ați vedea, casă albă ca sia, măi. Tinere să vezi cum ești, nu stă unde se grăbea. Vezi de cum e viața lui, cum e viața omului, măi.
Well, almost a year later, we went back to the orphanage to see how things were going, and I'm happy to report the conditions really are now much better. For a start, the children actually look like children should do. They're well dressed, they've got long hair, medical standards and sanitation have vastly improved, and more of the children now go to school. Things are obviously still far from ideal, but thanks to the dedication of the workers, some of whom have literally been back as many as 7 times, things really are getting better all the time, both in the orphanage and in the surrounding area as well.
Since the challenge, and seeing the children as they was, and seeing them now today, running around, helping us, doing a lot of the work that we do. It just gets you, and you've got to come. You've just got to keep coming back. They're filling out, whereas they were skin and bones before, they're filling out. They're lively. Little kids that were in cots in the summer, they was in the playground over the road, just running wild, and before they couldn't move. You know, little kids that were lying there with no life and nothing to go for, are now up, running about and fattening out, and it's great.
Yeah.
Fantastic to see.
Which really says it all for the goodwill and generosity of all the workers who've risen to the challenge over the last 3 years. Starting next week, you can see a whole new series of challenges. That's every Friday at 8 o'clock. In advance of that, can I just thank everyone who's given up their time to take part in all our programmes. Literally, without you, we'd never even try to make the impossible possible. We'll see you next week.